Welcome to today's deep dive. Usually when you buy a display, you're buying an appliance.
Right, like finding a spot on your credenza.
Exactly. You check the diagonal, plug it in, and you're done. But once you cross a certain threshold, like a 165-inch footprint, I mean, you aren't buying an appliance anymore.
No, not at all. You're basically buying real estate at that point.
Yeah, it's a massive architectural commitment. So for this deep dive, we're unpacking a highly detailed product page from HDTVSupply. It's for the Draper 254229 Profile Plus fixed frame screen.
It's a monster of a screen.
It really is. And our mission today for you listening is to figure out what it actually takes to install a movie theater scale display, without drowning in all that deep-end AV jargon.
Which is easy to do. I mean, to put that 165-inch spec into perspective, the actual viewing area is 140 inches wide by 87.5 inches tall.
Wow.
Yeah. And at that scale, physics basically demands highly specific materials. So this model uses a 16 by 10 widescreen 1080p optimized projection surface.
Okay, and the source calls it the gray XH600V, right? With a 0.6 gain, which, honestly, kind of threw me.
How so?
Well, my instinct was always that higher numbers are better in AV specs. So seeing a fraction, I don't know, it seemed weird. Does it have something to do with the gray surface absorbing ambient room light?
Spot on. That is the core mechanism at play here. Gain basically measures how much light the screen reflects back at the viewer.
Oh, okay.
So a lower gain, like 0.6, means the material is actively eating some of that light rather than just bouncing it all back.
Making the image darker.
Right. Paired with that gray tint, it dramatically deepens the black levels and, boosts the overall contrast.
Which you need if you can't control the room lighting.
Exactly. If you're putting this in a corporate training room or a sports bar with big windows, that low gain stops your massive 14-foot image from looking like a washed-out bedsheet.
Which nobody wants. But that brings up the physical reality of a 14-foot image. I mean, how do you even get a rigid 140-inch wide rectangle through a standard doorway?
Or up a stairwell.
Right. Without a crane or just knocking out a wall.
Well, the logistics kind of dictate the engineering here. Despite the massive size, the whole thing actually ships flat-packed and completely unassembled.
Wait, really? It comes in pieces?
It does. It relies on these extruded aluminum baffles. They're essentially lightweight, highly rigid metal rails that keep the tension perfectly even across that huge surface.
Oh, so it's basically like high-end AV IKEA.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
You carry the components into the elevator, navigate those tight corners, and then you assemble it on site.
Got it.
It uses this clever sliding hook and loop system to stretch the gray fabric over the rail.
Okay, that makes so much more sense. And the page says once it's on the wall, it sits less than 2 inches deep.
Yeah, very sleek.
And it has this zero-edge, mullionless design, so no thick border holding it in place. It just looks like a floating, borderless window of video.
Which is stunning, but getting a screen that size mounted is really only half the battle.
Because you still have to power it.
Right. If you're building out a commercial venue, you have to feed that massive canvas with a really reliable signal. And that's where the distributor, HDTVSupply, comes into focus.
Yeah, they had this specific Draper screen listed for $4,146, which is down from over $5,000.
A solid drop. But their broader catalog is what reveals the massive, heavy-duty infrastructure required to drive these kinds of systems.
Oh, totally. I noticed they supply TAA-compliant gear and GSA schedules.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, means equipment that meets strict federal trade regulations for secure government facilities.
Very serious hardware.
Yeah. And they also push these Wolfpack matrix switchers, which is fascinating.
Matrix switchers are incredible. For anyone who hasn't wired a commercial space, think of it like a digital traffic cop.
Okay.
It takes multiple video sources and seamlessly routes them to up to 160 different displays simultaneously.
Wow. Without a drop in resolution.
Exactly. You're building a complex ecosystem.
Right.
Matrix switcher is the brain.
Making all the routing decisions.
Right. Deciding whether the main 165-inch Draper screen shows the primary presentation, while maybe dozens of smaller satellite TVs show secondary data feeds or, I don't know, different camera angles.
Navigating that kind of high-space commercial environment actually brings me to this surprisingly dry 3-star customer review I found on the vendor site.
Oh, yeah. From who?
From John M. And he wrote, quote, "When I called, the staff was less than friendly, but answered my question."
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, that's a perfectly pragmatic transaction, right?
It really is. In the world of complex AV routing, blunt efficiency wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need the vendor to, ask about your weekend. You just need absolute certainty that the HDMI matrix switcher they sold you isn't going to crash in the middle of a live broadcast.
Or a mission-critical briefing. You're
Yeah.
paying for precision engineering and technical accuracy there. From the tension of those aluminum baffles to the reliability of the signal routing. Understanding how all those hidden mechanisms work together gives you a massive advantage when you're planning a corporate upgrade or just dreaming of the ultimate home theater.
It really shortcuts the learning curve for you and strips away the mystery of commercial AV.
It does.
And it leaves me with this final thought for you to mull over.
Let's hear it.
With massive 165-inch projection screens, now shipping flat-packed in elevators, utilizing low-gain surfaces to fight ambient light, and featuring these completely borderless designs.
Right.
Are we fast approaching a future where the concept of a standalone heavy TV becomes completely obsolete and our walls simply become the screens?